So for test 50, question 12, research or a number of studies have suggested that on average, clients in short-term psychotherapy show similar levels of improvement regardless of the kind of psychotherapy they receive. So what we're saying here is that, hey, we have these studies and they show that clients that are in short-term psychotherapy show at least like similar levels of improvement regardless of like the actual type of psychotherapy they received. Some things like I'm already paying attention to is I wonder what short-term therapy is. Is there different amounts of like how long is it? How often are they meeting? Does that matter based on the type? Are these people that all have similar issues that we're trying to overcome? Like those are all the things that I'm going to think about just to be critical as I'm continuing to read. So, indicator word, any client improvement in short-term psychotherapy must be the result of some, so at least one aspect or aspects of therapy that are common to all psychotherapies. For example, the presence of someone who listens and gives attention to the client. All right, is this an argument or set of facts, Katie?
An argument.
Yes, and what is our conclusion, Yomira?
That any improvement in short-term psychotherapy must be the result, that whole sentence there.
Yes. And then this type of the argument here, like this is, I love when they actually say, for example, so this is support. Our example of why this is, or an example of what this might be, is someone who listens and gives attention to the client. So in wraps, what we're saying is, since introducing a premise, since all short-term psychotherapy shows similar levels of improvement, that must mean that any client that has improvement, there is at least one thing that overlaps for all of them. What is this argument valid in your eyes?
When I think where I struggled was it kind of sounds valid. Like there's at least one, like the presence of someone there, I feel like is usually an element of therapy. So I like really struggled to find instances of therapy in which there's not like there's not someone who listens and gives attention present. But I know it has to be bogus because it's a weekend question.
And also, do we know if psychotherapy, I don't know all about psychotherapy. Maybe psychotherapy includes like some type of machine that you put on your head and it like zaps you. I don't know.
Yeah, then I was like, maybe it's like horse therapy or art therapy where it's like something physical you're doing as opposed to a person being there. But I think that's what made this one so hard is I was really trying to like envision other types of therapy that didn't involve a person. I was like,
So let's think about it this way. Let's not dive into exactly what psychotherapy is. Let's think about just like bigger picture where we're saying because all of these things have at least some good results, that must mean there's something about all of them that they have in common. Does that have to be true?
no.
Like so what I'm thinking about maybe is like a diet. Couldn't I eat maybe a vegan diet and a meat diet and a pescatarian diet? Maybe I'm gonna eat a vegetarian diet, a red meat diet, and a fish diet. And maybe in all of these I get good results and I lose weight. Does that mean that there has to be something that's similar in all of these that's causing me to lose weight? Or could they all individually just produce good results?
Individually produce good results.
So just in that's the flaw that I see here is that we say that because all of them are producing something, they must all have something in common. Mm-hmm. So then we go into this and we see that it is a weekend question. So we want a strong answer choice. What predictions did we have?
And I kept going after that last part that are common to all psychotherapies. And I wanted to kind of attack that part. So in my head, that's what I was going after when I was reading through the answer choices.
So what we're trying to say is that there isn't at least one, let me write that different. So essentially what our answer is trying to say is that there does not have to be at least one aspect that is common to all of these. So how could we weaken that? Or how could we show that there isn't? My conclusion was just let's show that there's two different reasons why something is successful.
Yeah, I was looking for something along the lines of every type of psychotherapy relies on very different techniques, like something like that, or like different mediums. Like it doesn't necessarily have to involve a person. It can be like, I don't know, something along those lines, because I was trying to think of other types of like therapy and different forms it could take.
The other thing that I thought we could destroy was, how do we know that it's the psychotherapy that is causing the improvement?
Right.
It could be medication.
Yeah.
You know, they got a high dosage of dopamine or something.
Oh, or just like time after, like, or thinking about it, or what. Yeah. All right. So what answers did we have? I think we had a lot of D's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why is D wrong?
No! I guess it's the idea that even if there's specific techniques and interventions that are different, there's still a therapist present and they're still practicing psychotherapy, so there's still like a common element.
No, it's just because could things, I mean, it's simpler than that. Couldn't things differ by techniques and interventions? Couldn't they differ dramatically but still have at least one thing in common?
Yes.
Like, I'm sure Troy's tutoring style and my tutoring style differ dramatically, and we probably use different techniques and we use different Socratic intervention methods, but we probably have at least one thing in common.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. I think, Cora, you were also looking at B.
I was looking at B, but it wasn't something I was liking. I was just kind of, because I mean, I know that it's weak.
On average, clients improve more dramatically. So we have a relative term here. When they
and as soon as I saw that, I was like, no.
A year or longer in duration when the client, because we're comparing long-term to short-term. We don't care about long-term to short-term. Like, I would assume that people, when they get it for long-term, they have better results.
I can see where C is a lot better.
It's C? The answer is C?
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I'm just saying that it looks a lot better.
Go ahead and take 30 seconds, and I want you all to think about this, so what answer you would come up with.
So we're saying our own answer that we came up with, or now that we're down to 3, what answer we think it is?
What do you think it is now that we're down to 3?
I mean C, but I hate it. But I guess of the 3, I hate it the least, because at least it's saying that if a trained therapist in psychotherapy is not, there's no difference between them and someone who's just talking to someone, and everyone's seeing.
What does that have to do with them having some aspect? It's not C either.
It's not, Nicole.
I don't.
Is it A?
Yeah, why is it A?
I kept going back to A because they were talking about, I guess they were attacking it in a way I wasn't thinking about.
Correct.
They were going for like the study, like what the study is measuring, which that could be a weakener, but I wasn't thinking about that when I read it.
You're absolutely right. So our studies that are showing this, that on average clients show similar levels of improvement. Well, what if we're only showing similar levels of improvement? Well, what if the study is only asking like right when they walk out, like this is how they do, but which some of these might have better long-term impacts. So they're actually significantly different in their ability.
I think for me, the best way to kind of think of it is like a detox program instead of the therapy side of it. If like somebody is going to detox for drugs or alcohol and they're in detox for 7 days, if they don't go to the long-term facility for 90 days, yeah, that 7-day got them detox, but it doesn't really cure it.
Oh, absolutely. And so since we can't, so we're really weakening it by saying, well, we're just basing the study based on like right when they walk out, like, yeah, like you said, everybody might be able to stay alcohol free the day after leaving treatment, but different treatment methods will have a different long-term effect. So maybe this short-term psychotherapy is doing a detox, and this other one is you do like a 3-day revival rehab. So like when they both leave on day 1, they might say, yeah, I'm doing great. But the people that went to the detox maybe on day 7 are starting to do bad, where the people that went to the other thing are still doing great. So that doesn't mean that they must for sure have something in common. It's not what I was expecting either, but I got to this one by crossing off all the other ones, and then I just sat there and thought about this one for a while. Because if we cut out, because if we take away the validness of this study, what are we basing our conclusion on? Nothing.
Yep, it destroys it.
Right.
Dun dun dun.